Hey everybody, welcome into Northern Life and happy Monday to you. We're thrilled to start the week with you guys as we come off the St. Patrick's Day weekend. Hopefully everybody had a great time celebrating.
Yeah, seriously, it was wild. It was a lot of fun. I had a lot of corned beef, 2 rounds of corned beef on Sunday.
Wow.
It was
2 rounds?
Yeah.
How many's in a round? What are we talking here? Is there certain ounces per round?
That's a good question. I don't know, honestly. There's many ounces in a round.
Sauerkraut?
Sauerkraut, a little bit of sauerkraut too, and a roll, a nice little roll on the side. Oh, it was so amazing.
When you guys were little, did you ever do like a little leprechaun hunt around your house? Because back in the day, my mom used to hide these little gold coins around, and they were chocolate. And so we would go find them, and yeah, it was a really nice time.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I didn't do that yesterday, as I think I've gotten a little too old, perhaps. But maybe
Is there ever a weekend where St. Patrick's Day and Easter are on the same weekend, and you had to do like both on the same weekend? That'd be crazy, right?
That would be crazy. I don't know if Easter could ever possibly be that early,
What's
but
the
that would be
earliest?
interesting to check.
I think Easter's usually April.
Well, this year it's March 31st. So sometimes it's in March.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Never mind.
So crazy.
I apologize to the folks
bunny's on its way.
I've never done a leprechaun hunt, but as a kid, I always tried to find the Lucky Charms box. That's what I was hunting for.
Those were the best.
Yummy, yummy. Well, coming up today, we're making watercolor paintings at the Duluth Art Institute. It was a great time getting to meet a few artists there as we tried to become artists ourselves. Keyword tried, but I loved their words to encourage people who don't have a lot of experiences, so I'm sure we're going to share those coming up in this story.
It's up to interpretation, as one would say.
Yes.
And later, I have a few awesome life updates I can't wait to share with you all, including a few photos from our family's recent professional photo shoot with my little cute niece, Bridget, who's in the top right there.
Bunch of studs.
Bunch of studs.
Great looking family right there.
Thanks, Hunter. I'm sure Jeff Half really appreciates that. As we celebrate a new week here, a viewer of ours wanted to let us know her mother is celebrating a major birthday today. Vera Tromberg from Virginia, Minnesota is celebrating 100 years today. How about that?
Birthday, Vera.
Yeah, how about that? Let's go, Vera. Her daughter Joyce tells us Vera was born March 18th, the year 1924 in Big Falls, Minnesota. We're told she loves to bake and is famous for her apple pies, banana bread, and cookies. She also plays cards 5 days a week and loves to travel and will go anywhere, anytime. And as for the secret to her longevity, she believes eating almonds every single day keeps her healthy.
Oh, I'm going to have to give me some almonds.
Yeah.
Have her bake us something with almonds in it, and then, 2 birds with 1 stone. There we go.
I'd love to know what her favorite card games are, too.
True. Cribbage.
Rum Ginny. Canasta.
Canasta. You're a big canasta guy.
I love the canasta.
I don't think I've ever played canasta.
Oh, it's a blast. I'll teach you guys sometime.
Could you give us like a 10-second rundown on how canasta is played?
It's way too many rules. There's 6 decks of cards. That's the first part. Yeah, it's insane. And there's a lot. There's like a hand and a foot, and it's like it takes. I barely know how to play, and I've been playing it for 10 years. It's a person.
Got a head, got a body.
Got a draw. Yeah.
Wow, 6 decks of cards.
Yeah.
But I want to play that with her sometime.
That'd be fun. I'm one of those people where if anytime anyone's trying to explain rules of a game to me, it never sticks.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I have to try to play it.
I need
to
the practice round.
Yep.
You can't tell me instructions. I need the practice round to get it figured out. Yeah.
For Target shoppers out there, the retail store says it's making changes to a key part of the buying process. That's the checkout line. Customers who choose self-checkout will now be limited to 10 items. Otherwise, you're going to have to purchase your items from a human cashier before you leave the store. Their express self-checkout lanes hit the stores on Sunday at most of their locations. They're hoping a crackdown on items will improve the customer experience by speeding up the process. I would never even go to a self-checkout if I had more than 10 items because I think it's just going to take me way too long and I'll get frustrated. Things might not scan right, so I strictly go to the human cashier unless I have like 2 things, then I don't want to bother them.
That is the worst thing, when something goes wrong on the self-checkout and you have to hit the help button and then the thing beeps above you and then you're waiting for the human to come help you and then you look like a fool kind of standing there. It's a tough experience.
Like, I didn't check the schedule to see that it was my shift today. I didn't know that I had to check everything out myself. That's crazy.
Okay,
sorry.
As a kid too, or when I first started going to grocery stores by myself. Former or current Target employee Hunter McCullough.
Goes back to HR to pick up his paycheck and paying for his items.
He's a radio guy, Target guy, Northern Lights guy, meteorologist.
Exactly.
Yeah, many talents there.
Many irons on fire.
But when I first got my driver's license, when I go shopping alone, I was like, if I was counting out items because I'm like, if I have more than 10 items, I'm not going to be allowed in that self-checkout line, or I'm going to get kicked out. I thought it was like a strict thing. So the fact they are making it strict now, I was right. 16-year-old me was correct about the whole thing. Yeah.
Also,
insight by you.
Are they taking away the normal express checkouts or whatever? The normal, like you can do as many as you want in the self-checkout aisles?
I'm not
Sounds
sure.
like it. It sounds like they want you to go if you have more than 10 items to a regular human person.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go find Hunter hanging out in the cashier lane. That's your local Target.
Hunter will be checking out other people's items for them at the self-checkout, just for fun.
Paper or plastic?
fun,
What do you
yeah.
think?
Let me help you with that. I don't know who you are.
Just has a red shirt on.
That'd be fun. If you're traveling for spring break after your shopping at Target, you can expect to pay more at the pump this year. The average gas price nationwide is up about 15 cents from a month ago. But here's something I actually didn't know. We are switching from a winter blend to a summer blend when it comes to gas. I didn't know that there were different blends.
I thought it was just for diesel. I didn't know it was for gas as well.
I didn't know it was a thing at all. So as for the difference, it has to do accordingly. I'm not a motor expert. The fuels read vapor pressure, or as the mechanics call it, that RVP.
Oh, classic.
Like an RVP, yes.
RVP. In the wintertime, you want that pressure to be higher because you want the fuel to be able to evaporate easily. And on the flip side, the summer blend has lower RVP pressure.
That's very interesting. I knew that about diesel. Is it? We probably could have skipped over this one. Just kidding.
It's good to know. I had no idea. I thought I needed to be worried about my gas and its seasons.
I want to make sure I got a good blend when I'm on my way to Target to see Hunter check out my items.
My only experience with this is in the winter, our fuel on the bus would gel up every once in a while because it was the wrong blend. So I had to get a different bus.
You don't want that. After the break, we're doing some art. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, everybody. An amazing part about the Northland is that we are so lucky to have a number of talented artists who use all types of mediums to create and display their work.
I think that includes us three, perhaps. We're going to try it out here. Recently, we got to head over to the Duluth Art Institute studio and education spaces over in Lincoln Park. We tested out our own painting abilities.
In any of the workshops I do, I just want people to have some fun and experiment.
Yeah, it's
cool. Particularly with a new material, you shouldn't be fixated on the end object. If you're fixated on the end object, you're missing out on the process. And the process, to me, is where that creative thinking comes from.
This is one of the few places that really supports artists having a place to create, and we don't have a lot of those opportunities in Duluth. Mm-hmm. So we work with youth all the way through artists that are very well established.
Well, we're going to play with Echolina watercolors. They're a liquid watercolor. They've been around since 1930 because they're just easy to play with. And it's a great way it's a gateway to kind of get you hooked onto art.
Perfect gateway paint.
So it's a gateway paint.
That's what I need.
So we're gonna do that. So all I did right here is I just put a little water on that. And you can see.
It's gonna light up.
Whoa. So it's a capillary action. It's just following that water line, right? So this is one way to get started. I'm mostly an abstract painter, but there's all kinds of different materials to play with today.
Are you doing the spray? Oh yeah, look at that little side spray.
Hit it with the spray.
Hit it with the spray.
Just gonna hit it with the question.
Whoa!
Sorry about that. I got it.
Briggs is getting real abstract.
Yeah, abstract onto the table.
I don't know how he got his sprays to be a little bit more spray-like.
That's a good spray.
Mine are just kind of globby, but that's okay.
Open studios for the Watercolor Society, and then open studio opportunities for teens. And Wednesday nights and one other time during the week, during the day, we have open studio for artists to just pop in and connect and network and learn from each other.
Use my hands.
Oh yeah.
There he is. He's into it now. Now another thing you can do is add a tempera paint over the top. So then, if we take and pull this,
Kind of give it a texture.
gives it a little bit more texture. So now we picked up that paint, and now we move that paint around. So we kind of have an instant landscape, right?
Oh, I love it.
I call it the inner workings of my mind.
Looks like a mess.
You'd be right, Keith.
How do I make these blend a little better?
So you can give it a little spritz, and then you can use one of the blending brushes like this, or
Thank you,
you
sir.
might want to. So you would kind of fluff it. I don't know if that makes much sense.
Okay.
You're going to want to pull the color back and forth. Some people will go one way or another. It depends on the effect that you want. Now we're going to do this with the palette knife again. And this is going to reveal some really neat texture and the color as we go down through it. So another technique, get a really fabulous type of imagery with very little effort.
That's my kind of painting right there.
Very little.
Do you think if I put this up for sale that someone would buy it?
The art market is such that it very well could.
Oh,
Wow.
all right.
Not all of us are going to be the best artists, or we're not even maybe going to make a living.
Yeah.
But you have to evaluate why you're doing it. I mean, you do it because you get some other kinds of benefit out of it.
Yeah.
And it's not always a tangible thing, but it's reflected in your lifestyle and your calmness. And this is a meditative process too.
It is very relaxing.
This should be. So that creative process, regardless of whether you sell it, is so critical to our daily life.
Well, a huge thank you to Keith, I believe, taking shots at both of your guys' artwork. Keith, what's going on?
Keith behind the cameras even put a little graphic saying Briggs made another mess.
I know. I think he's referring to my pizza drop and my pie drop, and now my paint splatter all over the table. I felt bad.
That's tough.
Anything with a P, probably.
Yeah.
But beauty and garbage, I think, are in the eye of the beholder. That's kind of how that goes. So whatever that was,
You're right.
you know, it's up to you to decide.
It's up for the folks at home to decide. Here's what I'll say. I think I had a vision in mind when I started, but then when you get things on the paper, you go, okay, I'm going to go this route and this route. It still didn't end up exactly how I wanted to,
Yeah.
but I had fun in the process.
Yeah.
I really liked the sprinkling you were doing.
Thank
It
you.
looked like a bunch of cool sprinkles. You know?
Like a
Technical
sprinkling,
term for it. Yeah, I think.
like,
I like both of yours. I
like
thought
running
they were
through a
really-
little sprinkler.
Yeah, exactly. In the summertime. You know?
Oh my
That
gosh.
was really good.
I know. I think going off of what you said too, it's so nice to have a plan and then be okay with changing the plan as you go. Because as they were saying, create without fear.
Yeah.
That's a big part of the artistic process that I think those of us, especially without much art experience,
Right.
Yes.
need to adopt as we go into this.
And here's the other thing too. It sounds like the Duluth Art Institute has a lot of educational classes and
Yeah.
chances for beginners like us to take like pottery and other painting ability type classes. So be sure to check them out. We're gonna have them in our social media and our website. Hey, coming up, I have an exciting announcement to make. Can't wait to share it here on Northern Life.
To go along with the painting story we just shared, coming up soon, we're excited to show you all of the fun we had on a recent blindfold we filmed on Friday, and it involved paintball. Really a good time. You can catch all of the fun next Tuesday. It was a very intense game of paintball,
Yeah.
too. We had some of our coworkers there join us, as you can see in that photo, and they had some energy.
Yes.
Yeah,
Just
they
a
were
little-
ready to go.
Yeah, a little tease. Adam Lorch is the only one with experience in paintball, and it was pretty extreme.
Yeah, a lot more cardio than our type of painting at the Duluth Art Institute. But certainly a lot of fun. Yeah, excited to share that story with you next week, I believe. Hey, over the weekend, though, my name was included on a very sweet announcement on social media. So coming up later this summer, I'll have the privilege of being in the cast of the Duluth Playhouse's 9 to 5 musical. Super excited for that. It's going to be a really fun time. My friend Allison is going to be in it. Seems like it's going to be a really great cast as well. And I know it's been, 2 years? It'll probably be 2 years since Footloose here, which I did a couple summers ago. And I know we have a picture of me and Hunter from when Hunter saw the show. I mean,
Look at that hair.
should I bring
Yeah.
back the hair?
I think you should. Look at that. What a stud. You look like you should play hockey or something. you know?
Yeah.
Absolute locks, some lettuce. I did like that hair a lot. It was tough to
lettuce.
manage, though. I mean, my goodness, had it back in a pony. But excited to be back on the North Shore stage. Really loved performing in high school and college, and excited to do it again here.
What's your role?
I'll be playing Joe. I'll be playing an accountant who has a love for a much older woman.
boy.
Yeah.
Joe, not short for Jolene.
Not Joe.
Not Jolene.
Wow.
I know, right? Hey.
Cool.
That's some good Dolly Parton knowledge, Hunter.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Jolene.
Well, how about that? Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say that when I saw Footloose, I was very impressed with your performance. You're
Thank
an amazing singer. You were the bully, right? Is that kind of the bully sort of person?
Yep.
And you were a good bully, I guess. I don't know if that's a compliment, but you did a good job. That was really
People
good.
said I was playing who I truly was. You know?
Oh, boy.
That's not true.
Just kidding.
Not true.
Not a bully, hopefully. Even more exciting news for the Half family out there. We just got our photos back from the first professional photo shoot we had with my little niece, Bridget. And these photos turned out amazing. I don't think my family has had a professional photo shoot since I was like maybe 5. So the fact we got all these photos together was so wonderful. Bridget was ready to go. She was ready for the cameras. She was looking at everybody.
Look at her big eyes.
Yeah, she's got some big eyes. She looks like her. She looks like my brother-in-law. My sister says, but she has my sister's personality, is what Kelly tells me. So I know it's like these photos, makes me want to cry, just like even you and your mom, or me and my mom, and me and my dad here. So big thanks to the studio down there in Minneapolis for putting our family on display.
Yeah, you guys looked awesome, coordinated so well together.
Thank you. That was my sister's doing. She said gray, pink, or blue with jeans or nice pants. So
she had it figured out.
She had it figured out.
You all had to wear the same thing, or like you could wear blue and she could wear pink?
Not the same. Yeah, we didn't go to like Kohl's and buy out the same sweaters or whatever.
Okay,
Just the same colors, same color match.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of fun though.
Well, staying on the topic of these exciting events, SpaceX is launching its 30th resupply mission to the International Space Station later this week. Ooh. And on board, there's a capsule that will carry some homegrown experiments that are kept in vials from 6 students in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. That launch is currently scheduled for Thursday. What a fun science project I assume that must have been. To send some stuff to space. Incredible.
What a flex too, to be like, my science experiment, back in like 2nd grade where you had to make one for, like a fair or whatnot. Always be kind of terrible. But now you're getting older, you can send it out to space. That's pretty cool.
Future astronauts right there. Look out.
Maybe they'll visit you at Target sometime and
I can scan
some
their
more
eyes.
science experiments.
Tell you all about space.
Here's some toothpicks.
After the break, we'll talk more about tomorrow's blindfold under the bright lights.
Coming up tomorrow on Northern Life, I took Ryan and Briggs over to the Zeitgeist Arts Building in downtown Duluth, where we were joined by the Renegade Comedy Improv Group, joining them for a few improv games. And that was, what a fun time that was. They're all very talented.
Yes.
And honestly, I don't think we did a terrible job. I think we did pretty darn good for what we had to work with.
It was these games that were the hardest part, honestly.
Seriously.
They have very intense games with some pretty serious rules for improv to get your mind going and the juices flowing. So
I wasn't expecting to sweat as much as that.
Right.
You gotta be ready on your feet. It was fun doing improv. I took an improv class back in college. You say yes and, you keep the thing going, whatever joke that may be. Like today, the Target joke, we kept that going throughout the show.
True.
Kind of the same rules in improv.
There we go.
Yeah.
See,
Full circle jokes.
Yeah, we've had some practice in this. We know what's going on.
We do it every single day.
Yeah.
It's also very fun to go on these shoots. I know, after a stressful day, I'm like, well, the fact we went paintballing back on Friday and we got to do improv comedy the other day, it's hard to complain to others about a work day.
Yeah, right. Sometimes I tell my friends like what we did at work and they're like, oh, it must be hard.
Yeah, I sent 2 emails. It was a very tough day here at Northern News Now. Yeah.
My dad has told me you literally don't have a job. What are you doing? It's great.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Have a great Monday.
Find some time to throw a line or just head outside to unwind. That's the life in the great North Woods. Hike or bike, whatever you like. Get out in the day, enjoy the night. Yeah, we got the life in the great North Woods. Yeah, we got the life in the great North Woods. Yeah, this is Northern